Greetings and salutations, dreamers in dreamland. Welcome to the latest edition of Listen to Me. Listen to Me, volume 14. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. Most importantly, we are in the month of February. And as you know, as everybody knows, it's Black History Month. And in the great history of the sport of professional boxing, there are some truly incredible, legendary black human beings that have truly made some incredible history. From Jack Johnson to Sam Langford to Joe Louis to Sugar Ray Robinson to the greatest of the great, Muhammad Ali. Now, when it comes to historical figures and it comes to Black History Month, Jack Johnson is the first black world heavyweight champion in the United States of America and in the world, the first black heavyweight champion of the world. He was an American. Okay? But Muhammad Ali truly is and was one of the greatest figures in history, period, in the 20th century. Forget about boxing history, history in general. Muhammad Ali stood up to racism, stood up to inequality, and he stood up to the United States government. Okay? And he defeated all of them at a time when many of his colleagues, when many of his contemporaries, many of his friends were killed, were shot in some of the most terrible incidents in the history of the United States of America. The time Muhammad Ali took on race and took on, the civil rights movement and took on a voice for black people and equality, at that time, guys like, his friend Malcolm X were being assassinated, being killed. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated, killed, for speaking out on the same things Muhammad Ali was speaking out on. When Muhammad Ali defeated Sonny Liston, he was Cassius Clay. When he won his Olympic gold medal, he was Cassius Clay. Leading up to his fight with Sonny Liston, there was a lot of controversy about his political beliefs, his beliefs on race and equality, his beliefs on the black community, and his beliefs religiously. They came into question. There were rumors that, he may become a Muslim or was a member of the Nation of Islam. And after he beat Sonny Liston, he did announce himself as came out and completely announced himself as a member of the Nation of Islam. And he became Muhammad Ali. That's when he became Muhammad Ali, after he beat Liston. Immediately thereafter. He wasn't shy about it. And from that moment forward, he was absolutely at the beacon, at the forefront of the American civil rights movement, and he was a voice for black people in the United States of America and all over the world. And when it comes to the 20th century, I'm not sure that in the 1900s there is a more historical figure than Muhammad Ali. So when it comes to the great sport of boxing, his accomplishments in the ring, a 3-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, okay? 3 times. A guy who was the best in the world, took on Vietnam when the United States government pulled his draft card, and he beat the United States government. But for 4 years, he was sidelined from boxing. What did he do? He came back and he recaptured the heavyweight championship of the world. Okay? He beat guys from Henry Cooper to Sonny Liston to Floyd Patterson to Jerry Quarry to Joe Frazier to George Foreman to, Ken Norton. I mean, he took on all comers. Ron Lyle. And this was, most of the guys I'm talking about was after his 4-year hiatus from boxing, when he was definitely not the same as he was before. So a past it prime Ali was still beating the brakes off of the best heavyweights in the world. And the entire time he's doing this in the ring, having this incredible, unmatched boxing career, he's taking on the tough issue of race, being a voice for the black community, being a voice for disenfranchised people all over this nation and all over this world. So during Black History Month, with all the great, black historical figures in boxing and outside of boxing, guys like Jack Johnson, Joe Louis. Joe Louis, who fought in an incredible fight against Max Schmeling, who, at the time was, aligned with the Nazi Party in Germany, and he beat that guy. And the night before Joe Louis fought Max Schmeling, the President of the United States called him and said, hey, you got to win this one for the United States of America. Can you imagine that kind of pressure? Could you imagine that kind of pressure? And at that time, believe me, during the time of World War II, there was definitely not equality for black people in the United States of America. It's a terrible thing to look back upon, but that's United States history. And Joe Louis was up to the task, and he went out there and he beat Max Schmeling, okay? And he did what he had to do. And, Muhammad Ali, he went out there, he beat Sonny Liston. And what did he do? He announced himself to the world as a member of the Nation of Islam. He announced himself as a Muslim. He announced his name as Muhammad Ali. He no longer was Cassius Clay. He was at the beacon of the American Civil Rights Movement, alongside Jim Brown, alongside, Malcolm X, who was a friend of Muhammad Ali, who was killed shortly after Ali became Ali, shortly after he beat Liston. Okay, there's a movie now, it's on Amazon Prime, it's called One Night in Miami. It's about Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X meeting up immediately after Ali beats Liston. And let me tell you, 2 out of the 4 guys in that film are no longer with us. Were killed prematurely. Muhammad Ali is no longer with us, rest in peace. Muhammad Ali, God bless the dead. But, he's no longer with us. Jim Brown, he's still around. Kicking it to the ground, and Jim Brown saying much love and respect. But the other 2 gentlemen, Sam Cooke was killed as a very young man in a very questionable situation. Could have been racially motivated. It's very controversial, to say the least. There is some speculation upon how that went down, but Malcolm X was assassinated. Period. Who was behind it? Was it the United States government? Was it the Nation of Islam? It's very, controversial. Again, something I don't know for certain. So I don't want to touch upon facts that I don't know. But they were gunned down prematurely. And race was definitely a part of it. So Muhammad Ali, while his friends were being killed, his voice didn't change. His voice got louder. And he spoke as loud and as proud and as true as he could for his black brothers and sisters, and for equality across all races in the world. And look, at the time, a lot of people thought what Muhammad Ali said was controversial. Those people were wrong. They were wrong. What Muhammad Ali said was the truth. What Muhammad Ali said was right. He was proven right. History has proven him right. And during Black History Month, out of all the figures, historically, in boxing, got to give respect to Muhammad Ali. This is my Black History Month episode of Listen to Me. So until we meet again, my friends, I love each and every one of you, but not near equally. That's a joke. It's been a pleasure. Yours and not mine. Peace.